join me this morning. As Bryony said, my name's Sarah Johnson, and my business name is Connect to Calm. That's the handle for all of my social media channels. And I'm really grateful to be here sharing some breathwork practice with you as part of your festival that's kicked off this week today. And for this particular session, I thought I'd share with you a really nourishing practice where we'll be using a few techniques along with the breath to help us move out of feeling quite wired, stressed, and maybe tense to a place that's more calm, more centered, and more relaxed. So I hope you enjoy it. I think to start off with, it'd be really helpful for you perhaps to have an understanding about where you are this morning. And so I'd like to invite you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on how you feel this morning. So 1 being very relaxed, very calm, and 10 being top of the scale, stressed, totally overwhelmed, too much going on. Just have a think about that for a moment, and you might like to write it down. If you feel like sharing, you could pop it into the chat box, and then we can refer back later in the session to see if your stress levels have reduced. I hope they will have. So once you've chosen that number, as I said, we're going to use that as a barometer now for this morning's session. So it's going to be really helpful for you to see how this particular practice and the techniques that I share can really help to ground the body, can help you to come back down from being up here to feeling much more calm and centered. So there's a few 6s and there's a 5 and a 7 coming through. Okay. So often when we are stressed or overwhelmed, we're operating outside of our body. We're often stuck in our mind and we're worrying about perhaps something in the past, or we're thinking about something tomorrow. And we're basically bringing ourselves away from the here and the now. And so I'm going to be sharing ways that we can reconnect back into ourselves so that our body can reset. And some great that there's some 3s coming through already. So you're super calm already. So that's good. So hopefully you may even go a little bit lower today. But yeah, we're going to be giving ourselves time to pause and really feel what's going on in the body. When we have a chance to check in and notice how we're feeling, we can look to adjust that throughout the day. So often we're rushing around from one thing to another that we don't give ourselves time to check in. And this is how stress and overwhelm and tension in the body especially can build up over time. And one way we're going to use, or one technique we're going to use today through the breath, can help us keep on top of those feelings in the body. And we'll begin to build a resilience and strength to be able to cope with the ups and downs of life. So our breath offers us the quickest way to regulate our nervous system. And it's the fastest way to regulate all the systems of the body. So it's a really potent technique to come to, and it's with us all the time. It's there all the time. So we're going to be taking time to pause and feel into the body, using the breath as a barometer so that we can tap into that potent inner power to help us cope with stress and overwhelm. And it's also give us a chance to check in. If we can check in every day with how we are, how we're feeling, the experience of the body today, we can help to manage those peaks and troughs that we might experience. So let's start the practice. I invite you now to get into a really comfortable position. So you can sit down for this practice, or you could even lie down if you're at home and that is open to you and it's available to you. I'd even, if you're lying down, perhaps look to raise the legs above the heart. So if you're lying down on your back, perhaps rest the backs of your legs on a chair or a sofa, and that will really help with the relaxation process kick in into the body. So as I said, when there's stress and tension in the body can become tight and pent up. So where we go in our mind, our body will follow. And the similar can be said for the other way around, so body to mind. So when we learn to relax the body, we can then help to relax the mind. There's a saying that if you have tightness in the body, tight schedules, tight jaw, tight hips, we have a tight diaphragm. And when our diaphragm is really tight, so will everything around us be tight, tense, stressed. So if we can release the diaphragm, if we can release the body, it will help to keep everything else around us calm and centered as well. So after you have found your place of comfort, whether that's sitting or lying down, my invitation is to you to simply breathe through the nose. Just to focus on your breath for a moment. So breathing through our nose really helps to provide a natural filter system. So we're warming and filtering the air. It's antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial. It's basically our first line of defense that's not available to mouth breathers. So in these particular times that we find ourselves within, it's a good thing to breathe through our nose. So we're just noticing our breath right now. And if you are feeling like you might be in that stressed or anxious place, a technique that you can use when you start to focus on your breath is to focus your attention on two places in the room. So you might look at the corner of a windowsill, a corner of a door, maybe a corner of a picture frame. And you're going to take your attention from those two places. Okay. So you're breathing through your nose, allowing your awareness to relax on those two places that you've chosen in your room. And so often when we're stressed, we're having an out-of-body experience. So you are here, but you're not really here. So by doing this, by focusing on these 2 points in the room, it can help bring you back into this space, bring you back into the here and the now. And this is something that you can do quite easily in a meeting without anybody noticing. So as we focus on the breath, we're now going to introduce a technique just to help you bring yourself back into the body. And this might feel a little bit strange. It may be something you've not done before, but we're just going to breathe and then bring in a very gentle massage into the body. So we're going to be self-massaging our hands and our arms. And so there's an invitation here as you just focus on your breath, perhaps looking at those 2 points in the room, to begin to focus as well on your touch sensation. So massaging the hands. And so we're helping our systems come back into the body. We're soothing ourselves with touch. We're saying to ourselves, I'm here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. And so through the systems and through this process, of touch, our nervous system is really starting to feel soothed. And you can apply as much pressure as you would like it just into the palms of your hands. We carry so much tension in our hands. They do so much for us. And you could work all the way down your fingers, just gently guiding your thumb over the muscles in the hand. And all through this little massage, we are focusing on our breath, just allowing our breath to be there, soft and gentle. So we're coming into the body now. The body is our home. We spend a lot of our time in our minds, and this is where a lot of the time the stresses and the tensions can arise. But when we come back into the body, when we start to relax the body, everything within us and around us can become more calm and centered. Now, you might not want to do this now, but another technique is to massage the jaw as well. If you do want to, you can have a go, but we hold a lot of tension in our jaw, and our jaw is directly linked to our diaphragm. And the diaphragm is a large muscle that helps us breathe. So just releasing the jaw through touch as well. All this time we're breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. So you're relaxing the jaw, and you can bring your hands now just to rest in your lap. So you're relaxing the jaw, you're relaxing your ears away from your shoulders. Just breathing in and out through the nose. And we're going to move to a lovely body scan now. We're going to inhale through the nose, release and relax the jaw. And as you exhale, you might like to do a sigh. Out through the mouth, and bring the breath to a really gentle place. And inhaling, just allowing your breath to travel all the way down into the belly. We're traveling all the way down into the lower belly, just below the navel. And every exhale, you're just going to let it go. All the breath is through the nose. And if it feels like this is available to you, you can close your eyes or just allow your eyes to have a very gentle gaze down as we start this practice. Excuse my tummy rumbling there if you heard that. So all our awareness is on our breath. We're inhaling and taking the breath all the way down into the belly. So we're really inviting our diaphragm to move with the breath now. And then exhaling and just letting it go. We're just noticing how the breath moves through the body as we invite it to travel all the way down into the belly. And it might help for you to place your hands across your lower belly as you're inviting your breath to travel all the way down there. And as you inhale, it might be possible for you to feel a rise of the belly, so almost like it's inflating like a balloon. And then on every exhale, the belly falls, the balloon deflates. So this breath is real diaphragmatic breathing. This is where you will activate the relaxation response. The breath is traveling all the way down to the deep lungs. So often when we are anxious or stressed, our breath stays higher in the upper chest area. You might feel that your shoulders start to increase and rise above your ears, to your ears. So just simply by bringing awareness to your breath and allowing your breath to travel down to the belly, you're inviting for that relaxation response to really power in. And just an invitation now to check in with the body and see if there's any tension or perhaps somewhere that feels a little bit tight in the body as your breath comes all the way in and then as it leaves the body. Maybe you can feel a lightness in the body as well. But just checking in and trying not to have any judgment with what you find with the experience of the body today. Just letting those experiences be there. And perhaps if there is an area that feels tight or tense or stressed, seeing if you can visualize your breath traveling to that place. So as your breath moves through the body to that place that feels tight or tense, and inviting for a sense of softness there. Perhaps a sense of spaciousness. So just inviting for the breath to move into those places that feel tight or tense, or anywhere else your attention is drawn to. And now inviting for your attention to drop down to your feet, taking your awareness all the way into the feet, knowing that you have fully arrived in your body. Taking awareness fully into the feet and aware of the sensations in the feet. Imagining that the breath is traveling all the way down to the feet. And then moving your awareness up to your ankles, to your lower legs, into your knees and thighs, into your buttocks or your hips, being aware of the body as it sits or lies in this space where you are today. And with the hands still resting on the belly, maybe one hand on the heart, just feeling the expansion of the breath into the belly. So you're feeling expansion of the rib cage now. Belly expanding, diaphragm expanding. And just being really present, right here, right now, leaving everything else at the door. You can come back to that later. Just taking some time out to check in with how you are today. To check in with the breath is super powerful. And then imagining that the breath now on the inhale has a light attached to it. It's summer solstice today and the midpoint of the year. So we're going to connect with the light of the sun, if you like, the healing glow of light. So we're just going to invite on each and every inhale that light is coming in on the inhale and connecting with the space of the heart. And then on every exhale, it's as if that light travels through the rest of the body. So every inhale, you're bringing light into the space of the heart. And every exhale, the light travels out through the rest of the body, through the arms and the legs. So you're flowing with the breath, bringing light in, and then allowing on every exhale for the light to travel out through the rest of the body. So our awareness is traveling with the breath and perhaps the color of light as well. And for me, the light is a bright white light, but for you, it might be a different color. Perhaps notice the color of light. You are able to visualize a light. Or perhaps you can feel a sensation of warmth as the energy comes in through the breath on the inhale and then leaves on the exhale, flooding the whole of the body with warmth, with light, the healing breath. And just adding something here to the breath, perhaps counting if you can do that as well. So introducing just a sense of balance to the breath now so that the inhale and the exhale is exactly the same length. And you can choose a length that feels comfortable to you. So perhaps counting to 3 or 4, maybe you get up to 5 or 6. but choosing a number that feels comfortable for you so you can continue breathing in this soft, gentle way. And I really encourage you to look for the inhale and the exhale to be the same length. So we're bringing the balance of the body into a state of equilibrium through equal breathing. And if you need to let go of the lights at this point, then you can. If it feels more challenging to focus on too many things at once, then that's okay. We're just inviting for the breath to be balanced, counting with the breath. So you might be breathing to 3 or 4 or 5 on each inhale and exhale. And this is called coherent breathing. So it's bringing all the systems of the body, the brain, the heart, the lungs, into a state of equilibrium. And this is incredibly soothing for the whole of the body and the mind. So you're sticking with counting with the breath. And if you find that your mind wanders off somewhere, don't worry. When you've realized, just bring it back to the breath. That's the concept of mindfulness, to notice when our mind has wandered and to bring it back to what we're focusing on. So it's okay if the mind wanders. And then just allowing for the breath to return to its normal, natural 2-part flow in and out of the body. And just allowing your awareness to travel now from the seat of the body all the way up the back, into the back of the neck and the shoulders, the arms and the head. The head connected to the shoulders to the torso to the hips and the lower part of the body, the whole body connected, mind and body one, body and mind. Where you go in your mind, you go in your body. Where you go in your body, you go in your mind. And so it is possible through the breath to change how the body is feeling, to change how the mind is feeling. And it doesn't take too long. And just bringing a connection now to the soles of your feet and feeling a sense of groundedness now as you connect with the earth beneath. As we just draw to a close of this practice. So feeling a sense of groundedness and connectedness. And just taking a moment now to check in with your body, with your mind, after this short breath practice. Checking in with how you're feeling right now. Perhaps comparing it to how you felt at the beginning of the session. And maybe you can highlight a number between 1 and 10 again. And notice if there's any change there, maybe ever so subtle changes. So with 1 being really calm and centered and 10 being stressed, where would you be on that scale right now after a 20-minute breath practice, 15-minute breath practice? Having come into the body, having just created a pause in your day just to reconnect back in with yourself. And you can Allow your eyes to gently open, taking in the room, the space you're in, and being ever so gentle and slow with this as well. Just giving yourself a little bit of compassion, coming back round into the space. And if you'd like to share with the group where you might be on that scale of 1 to 10, you can pop it into the chat box. Hoping that that practice has supported you in some way to leave the mental chatter of the mind and to come into the body. Just letting me know how you're feeling, how that session was for you. That's very short practice, but there's a few techniques there that you can come back to every day, whether that's to be through physical touch to help you come into the body, using points on the wall to connect with, to allow yourself to focus on something as you're breathing, but then also using the breath as well to allow you to come down into a place of calm and centeredness. So we've got a few numbers coming in through the chat now, from feeling good down to 3 from Sandra, and then we've got a 2, thank you, from Joe. Subtle change to a 3 from Thakura, and a 3 from Kalpana Patel, thank you. So there's a subtle change, even this, see, some of you have moved from a 6 to a 3, which is great, a 7 to a 3, which is really good. So there's subtle changes there. So just from that small practice, then you've noticed that the body has regulated and come into that rest and relaxation phase. So I hope you enjoyed that session, taken some time out from your day to connect back in. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I feel really grateful to be able to share this with you. Some more comments coming in now. Subtle change, like your term, the body is your home. Yes, that's lovely, isn't it? The body is your home. There's a nice affirmation. My body is my home. My home is my body. I am at home in my body. So Marla says 1. That's amazing. Vincent, really good. Thank you. Feel 3 for now. Hope that continues. Come back to it throughout the day. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I really hope that has supported you. Thank you. Thanks, Bryony.
Thanks, Sarah. That was lovely. I'm feeling all relaxed now as well.
That's great.
Thanks everyone for joining. As I said, I've just put a link to a short evaluation. It shouldn't take more than 3 minutes to complete, and do have a look at all the sessions we've got going on this week as well, because there's plenty more for you to get involved in, and we hope to see you there. So thanks everybody.
Can we
Thank
have Sarah
you.
back next year as well?
Definitely.
So I was in your last year's session and that was brilliant, Sarah.
Oh, okay, that's great. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you then. What was that? Sorry.
I was in your session last year and
Oh,
yeah, nurturing sleep or something like that, and I remembered it for such a long time, and I think it's your voice more than anything, but you're brilliant, absolutely lovely last time.
Thank you, and thanks for coming again. It's really good to share it with you.
I didn't know you were going to be doing this session. It just said breathe easy, but I came in and I had a few problems, but thank you very much. Thanks.
Oh, my pleasure. Really good to connect with you again. And apologies, my tummy was rumbling so much as well. My goodness me. Apparently I need to eat.
Now, Sarah.
Oh, thank you ever so much. I hope the rest of the festival goes really well.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.